Hi and welcome to today's video. We're now in April, having had 6 weeks away, and then for the last week I've been sort of working on some of the tidying up of the last of the ESP32 test sketches. I've started to now just do some testing down here on the block detection units. I'm going to be now concentrating using the ESP32 nodes rather than the Arduino Nano or Arduino Mega. The Mega, I've ran into a bit of an issue at the moment, which that would have allowed me a lot more IOs, but I was having a problem with the CAN bus side of it. So I'm going to stick with the ESP32 as that will allow me to get really focusing on this. So at the moment I've sort of been working on this dock section areas and making sure that the MERG block detection units are now working correctly. So I've got to sort of eliminate lots of different things I work through. I have connected up 25 blocks in all, but I need to test each block individually to make sure that they are working as I expect them to. So currently you can see here I've got these 6 blocks which represent these areas here on the layout, and I've got locos sat on the track and they are now all showing as occupied. So that's a good step forward. Now previously you had seen an Arduino Nano sat here which was going to be used, but what I've decided to do now is use the ESP32, and for this section here I'm going to be using 2 MCP 23017s. So that will give me 32 IOs, 2 of which I can't have as inputs, but I also will have native pins available to me. So at the moment I'm just sort of working out the wiring for here. This is disconnected at the moment because I want to make sure of each track. I was spotting an error yesterday that made me disconnect these, which I will revisit over the next day or two to make sure I get them right. Then I'll probably put the ESP32 with the 2 MCPs here. This will be connected up here using a Ethernet cabling, so that will be shielded, so that will work nicely, and hopefully then that'll allow me to demonstrate the block detection using LCC within JMRI. It is going to take a little while to get it how I want, but as I say, it's slow progress as I want to double check every connection for, I've got all the layouts here to look at and check. Also around here, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but over the next couple of weeks this will start coming together nicely. So as part of my moving forward, I've created a spreadsheet to keep all the information on. So this is the ESP32 vroom that I'm going to be using, and the pins here in green are what I'm going to make available. So these are going to be my 8 IOs, and then in theory this sketch will also drive 2 servos, but I'm not going to be using them. Now we do have a number of pins here that are input only, I'm not going to be using them. We will be using pins 22 and 21 for the I2C, and we will be using pin 5 and pin 4 for the CAN bus. Now I have shown here there's a number of pins that have got boot issues. I've covered them in other videos, so at the moment I'm not planning on using these pins, but when I do more testing I might suddenly up the number of pins that are available from the natives. And then down here I've got the 2 MCP 23017 modules, module 1 and module 2, and as I said earlier, pins A7, B7 on both of these can only be outputs, so this will allow me to have 7 on each bank available to me. So this will be adequate IOs for what I need for the block detection. I've also created a test sheet here So I will make sure that all these pins are doing exactly what I want as either outputs or inputs, because this is what we can do within the code. So this will get ticked off and when I'm doing the checks on the demo plang. And then this is the other thing that I've been working through at the moment. So this afternoon I managed to do a bit more work on it, and basically blocks up to 19 have been tested, but I've been dealing with a short circuit issue on block 17. Now this has stemmed from when I originally built the layout to my dropper wires are the wrong way round, and that's when I did the wiring the other week I missed that and I put them the wrong way round, so it was causing me a short circuit. This has now been corrected, so tomorrow when I do the test that will become ticked. These here, because these are the new Merg kits, they've got the built-in LEDs, so these down here up to 12 have now been tested, so these can be put down as yes, they passed the test. But from 13 on up till 25 are the old modules which do not have an LED built into them. I knew they worked beforehand, so I'll just have to come up with another way of testing these at the moment. So looking back, I started the LCC journey back on December the 1st 2024, so it's been over 2 years that I've been working on this project, and I've sort of now changed the repository and I've dropped the Arduino Nano and the Mega and possibly the R4 at the moment. The sketches are still available, but I've now put them in an archive sketched folder, and you know, I felt this was needed to be done because I think I'm best sticking with one MCU at the moment, and it's going to be the ESP32. Obviously there's a number of examples still for the ESP32. We've got the standalone and the CAN. Now at the moment in here you'll see we've only got sort of two servo and basically the 8IO sketch and the 2 servo 24IO MCP23017. So I'm building on this. We now have actually got a sketch what we've called the Universal that allows us to have the 2 MCPs but also 2 PCA 9685s. So I'm sort of using that to test at the moment, and I won't be using the PCA 9685s because at the moment I'm having a bit of an issue with the PCA 9685s. What was working well while I was away, I left them parts abroad and I bought some new ones, and the new ones are not working as I expect them to. So what I would ask is please be patient, because obviously the repository is being reworked and the wiki has also been getting some work done on it, so there's lots more details need adding and it's going to take me a little bit of time, but as I say, I just thought I needed to update people to let you know this is where we're at, and I'll update you as I progress over the next couple of days.